Hello children, this is your physics teacher Sharma and I welcome you all back to my class again. You know, we are discussing about the topic chemical effects of electric current, wherein we have learned what electricity is. Interesting way, we started what are the consequences of electric shock on a human being. Then we have learnt about classification of substances into good conductors and poor conductors. We have also learned how to prepare a tester at home, in which we have seen that we have taken a small bulb, connected it to a battery through wires and a screwdriver. We have connected the positive terminal of the battery with a free wire. The negative terminal of the battery is connected to one terminal of the bulb. The other terminal of the bulb is connected by means of a wire to the screwdriver. Now, we have seen that when these two free ends of the wire are connected to the rod of the screwdriver, the metal part of the screwdriver, the bulb started glowing, which indicated that this metal is a good conductor of electricity. On the other hand, when we have brought these two wires in contact with the rubber handle or the plastic handle of the screwdriver, we realized that the bulb did not glow, from which we came to the conclusion that the screwdriver's handle is not a good conductor of electricity. However, we have also tested the same using liquids like vinegar and sugar solution, vinegar, lemon juice. Okay, we have seen that even though the bulb is not glowing, there is a chance of the wire conducting electricity. Okay. Now, in due course, we have learned there is a difference between cell and a battery. We have learned that a single unit is called a cell and a combination of cells is called battery. Now, we have also learned there are different reasons for which tester can fail. The reasons being the bulb being fused out, that means the filament of the bulb broken, or that can also happen when the batteries are totally dried up. Now, why is it the bulb actually glowing? See, heat and light are two quantities which go hand in hand. Wherever there is heat, there is light. Okay. Now, when electric current is passing through the filament of the bulb, the filament gets heated up. It gets heated up to red hot level and then it starts emitting light out in all directions. Okay, so the light which is given out by the bulb is totally because of the heat. Now, I was actually saying that sometimes even though there is no bulb glowing, the current may pass through the circuit. So how is that happening? Maybe maybe the electric current which is passing through the circuit is not strong enough to make the filament hot. Okay, definitely current is flowing through the circuit, definitely current is passing through the filament, but the current that is flowing through the filament is not so high enough that it will actually make the bulb glow, the filament red hot. So this is when the circuit is complete but there is no light. Okay, now let us look into the next aspect. Okay, we have these two terminals of the tester what we have made. Okay, now is this really completely reliable? Okay, these two terminals, when we are bringing in contact with any metal or a non-metal or a plastic item, it is glowing, sometimes not glowing. Now, there is a fault with it. As just now we discussed, current might be flowing which is not strong enough to make the bulb glow. Then we cannot rely on that particular device. So we actually try to develop a new, totally new device, okay, and that new device will be using magnetic effect of electric current. Before that, let us know what magnetic field is. See, magnetic field is nothing but the space or region around the magnet where the effect of that magnet can be felt. Okay, suppose I take a magnet. Around the magnet there will be a field, there will be some space wherein you keep a pin, it gets attracted, you keep a nail, it gets attracted. So that particular space or region around the magnet where you can feel its effect is called magnetic field. Now, if I place a magnet in that magnetic field, if I place a magnetic needle in that magnetic field, it will show me deflection. Keep this aside. Whenever electric current is passing through a wire, there will be a magnetic field produced around it. Okay, remember this point. Whenever electric current is passing through a wire, there will be a magnetic field produced around it. So, if I place a magnetic compass or a magnetic needle beside a current carrying wire, this magnetic needle will get deflected. Usually magnetic needle will be showing north-south direction, but now it will show a totally different direction. Okay, so this will be very sensitive. That means even for the slightest change in the voltage, even for a little amount of current flowing also, what happens? It shows a deflection, and thereby we can identify that there is an electric circuit and current is passing through the circuit. Okay, construction of this is explained in the textbook. We can see there is a matchbox taken, and in the matchbox we are having a compass magnetic needle, and that matchbox is wound with wire, a copper wire, and that copper wire is actually completing the circuit. It has two free ends. Now let us try this. Okay, it has a battery connected in series, and let us try this with a solution. Maybe I'll keep them close to each other, maybe 1 centimeter apart, and I will dip it into same lemon juice which is taken in a bottle cap. Now we definitely see a deflection because lemon juice, being an acid, is a good conductor of electricity, so it will show deflection. Now, had this been the case with the electric bulb, we may not know, because the current produced, the current that is passing through this might be so less that the bulb may not glow. Okay, so this is the reason why this magnetic needle kept in a wire wound coil is more sensitive. We can identify even the slightest of the changes. Okay, now if I take these two terminals and keep them 1 centimeter apart in air, will there be any deflection? Will the current pass through it? Definitely we will not see deflection, because yes, air is not a conductor of electricity. Imagine, had air been conductor of electricity, we would be suffering shock, isn't it? Every one of us would be suffering shock, because we are actually surrounded by many electrical appliances. Okay, right now I might be standing in front of electric mains. Okay, and I use a laptop, computer, television, washing machine, water heater. We walk by the road and we will be passing right from beside a very huge electric transformer. Had electric current been able to travel through air, we all will be suffering from electric shock. So air is not a conductor of electricity. Fine. But we do hear about thunder striking, right? Lightning strikes. Whenever there is a lightning, it strikes a building. Lightning comes, it strikes the lightning tower. Now, how is it the lightning that is produced way above in the clouds that is able to come and reach? I will tell you how. Air is definitely a poor conductor of electricity, and no doubt about that. But the same air, if it is moist, we see this lightning happening only when there is moisture in the air. When it is moist, that is when the lightning will be, that means this charge will be traveling through the air and it will be reaching the ground. Okay, or else there is no way in which electric current can travel through air. Okay. Now coming to water. Does water conduct electricity? This is a very interesting question because many people think water is a good conductor of electricity. There is a small correction which you need to make whenever you say this sentence. Pure water is not a good conductor of electricity. Okay. Pure water is not a good conductor of electricity. Only impure water, water which has some mineral salts dissolved in it, that only is a good conductor of electricity. Okay, suppose you take distilled water. Distilled water you can get in any chemical stores. You can get that in any clinic or wherever there is a doctor. They use distilled water. So that distilled water is definitely not going to conduct any electricity. Whereas if I add little amount of salt, common salt, cooking salt, or if I add a few drops of acid, then definitely that will start conducting electricity. Okay, so pure water is not a good conductor of electricity. Only impure water is good conductor of electricity. Now, is it that this water which has salts dissolved in it, is it good for us? Yes. Remember, our body needs many salts for its functioning. It needs calcium which is going through to our body for its functioning. Like when we drink water, the water might be having some calcium in it. Sodium, which is very essential for the heart to work properly in circulatory system. So all these things, many salts, magnesium, iron, these all are salts which are dissolved in the water which we cannot see them. We say it is pure water because it is clear and we drink that. Okay, pure distilled water we drink, it makes no sense. It is not giving us, it is not doing us any good. Okay, instead if we take mineral water, yes, it is doing world of good to us. Okay, so that is all for today's class. Drink more water. Have a nice time. Until we meet again. Bye bye.